Hello. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to train a voice model using a tool called Google Colab without relying on your computer. With this model, you can transform any voice you like. For instance, you could change your voice to sound like your friends, practice mimicking a singer, and then sing in their voice, or even create content using the voice of a dubbing artist. We'll cover two scenarios where Google Colab comes in handy. The first is when your system isn't powerful enough to train your voice model offline. If you have a graphics card like an NVIDIA 3060, 3070 or better, you can easily train your model on your own computer. I've posted a complete tutorial on my page for that. The second scenario is when you prefer not to use your computer's hardware. You might be worried that an hour or two of heavy load on your graphics card could damage it, even though that's very rare, especially if your graphics cards and CPU's cooling systems are working properly. Regardless, in this tutorial, we'll use Google Colab. This tutorial is designed for everyone, no matter your level of knowledge about computers or artificial intelligence. So let's get started. So what is Google Colab? Google has provided a relatively free environment where programmers can run their Python code. The part we need is completely free, and there's no cost to use it. Now, I've found a Google Colab environment where you can easily train your desired model with just a few clicks. The first step is to click on the link I've provided in the description. Once you click the link, you'll be taken to a page like this. Here it says Install RVC. Click on it to install RVC. As you can see, RVC is essentially a Python script that works with several AI models. We'll wait a few minutes for this process to finish. Once this step is complete, a green button appears with success written on it. Next, we need to run the second part of the code. This step takes about 6 minutes. If an error like this appears during the process and it asks you to restart the session, be sure to click Cancel. Clicking Restart could cause issues. Just wait a few moments until this stage finishes. After this step successfully completes, we move on to training our voice model. Simply click here and wait a few moments. As you can see at the top, it suggests providing 3 to 7 minutes of clean audio from the person whose voice you want to train. However, for a high-quality output, you should supply about 10 minutes of audio. For example, extract their voice from various sources, merge the clips together, and then send this audio file to the RVC software. I'll explain more about this later. While it's possible to get good results with a 5-minute file, I don't recommend using anything shorter than 10 minutes. For very sensitive or professional work, I usually prepare around 20 minutes of audio to achieve excellent quality, though 10 minutes will also yield good results. Here, I've provided two options. You can either upload the file from your computer or from your Google Drive. I have a clean, ready audio file stored in my Google Drive. Just insert its link here. After placing the link, click Download from Drive. It doesn't matter if you uploaded it from your computer. My audio file is now loaded. We move on to the second stage, training the file. Here, you need to enter the name of your model. For example, I want to name my model Spider-Man. Next, select the voice training method. I recommend not changing this option, as it works well as is. You'll need to re-enter your voice model's name. Make sure you use the same name in both fields. After you've entered the name, click the Run Cell button. Sometimes your connection to Colab may drop. If your internet is still working, just wait a few moments. It will reconnect automatically. There's also a note here advising you to choose an English name for your model and to avoid using spaces or punctuation. This step essentially prepares your audio file for training by removing extra parts, splitting it into smaller segments called samples, reducing its bitrate, and performing other necessary preparations. After this step is complete and no errors appear, and you see success displayed, our work on this stage is finished. Down below, we enter the same model name we selected earlier. The next step is to choose the number of epochs. So what is an epoch? Simply put, an epoch is one complete pass through the entire dataset by the AI model. Generally, the higher the number of epochs, the better the quality of our voice model. Now I'll explain exactly how to choose the appropriate number of epochs. The most important factor when training a voice model is the quality of your dataset. What do I mean by dataset? It's the 10-minute or 20-minute audio file you provide to the AI. I've already posted a complete tutorial on my page about how to prepare your dataset. I highly recommend you watch that tutorial and prepare your dataset accordingly before continuing with this lesson. However, if you already know how to prepare your dataset, you can simply follow the steps outlined here. If you have a high-quality 10-minute audio file, it's recommended to set the epoch count to around 150. If your audio file is 20 minutes long, you can set it to at least 100 epochs. For audio files shorter than that, like 5 minutes, set the epoch count to over 200, and if you have time, you can set it to around 300 epochs. The higher the number, the better the output quality of your voice model, but of course, the training time will be longer. However, after a certain point, increasing the epochs further might not significantly improve the model's quality. For example, you could set it to 100 epochs, and there may not be much difference up to 300 epochs. Generally, if your audio is 10 to 15 minutes long, set it between 150 and 200 epochs. For 20 minutes, around 100 epochs is good, and for 5 minutes, set it between 200 and 300 epochs. The next setting is the frequency save interval. For example, if you set it to 50, the model will save every 50 epochs. This is useful if you want to check the progress at certain intervals. For instance, you may have set 300 epochs, but want to see if the model has reached the quality you expect at the 100th epoch. Or, you may want to test at the 50th epoch to ensure your dataset hasn't caused any issues, like a bug in your voice. It's preferable to set the save frequency to 50, so the model saves at epochs 50, 100, and 150, allowing you to download and test the model during the training process. Since this is a tutorial video, I'll set the epoch count to 50 so we can quickly get the output. Now I'll click on Run to start the voice training process. This is the final stage of training the voice model. The duration of the training depends on the size of your dataset and the number of epochs we've selected. For example, if you choose 100 epochs, then it takes about 19 or 20 seconds to train each epoch. 100 times 20 seconds equals 2,000 seconds, which is around 30 to 40 minutes to complete the voice model. But how can we know how long each epoch will take? After a short moment, it will show you how long each epoch takes. The first epoch usually doesn't give us an accurate estimate, but you can see for epoch number 2, it takes 19 seconds. Now, let's calculate it. If we have 50 epochs, 50 times 19 seconds equals 950 seconds, which is 15 minutes. At the end of this process, it shows that 50 epochs are completed. Your voice model will be saved in Google Colab. To locate these files in Colab, just click on the Files tab, go to this path, Assets, then Wait. In this section, you'll find 2 files. One is labeled 50 and the other has no label next to it. The one with no label is your final model, and the one labeled 50 was saved due to the save frequency setting. Download the first file, the one with no label, by clicking on Download. The second file is the index file, located in the log folder. Click on your model's name and you'll see a file with the name added. Download this file as well. Once you've downloaded both files, the training is complete, and these 2 files together form the core of your voice model. Now, if you want to increase the number of epochs later, what should we do? Scroll down a bit, and here we write the name of the model again. For example, I'll write Spider-Man. Now click on this icon. What does it do? It compresses the model information and saves it inside our Google Drive. As you can see, it says that it saved this file inside the RVC package folder in your Google Drive. Let's check if it's there. I'll refresh here. If we go into the RVC package folder, you'll see a file with a size of 1.5 gigabytes. This is your backup file. Now in the next section, I want to teach you how to continue the training process. For example, let's say you previously trained with 50 epochs, and now you want to extend it to 300 epochs. As I mentioned earlier, after training, if you click on Backup and name it, it will be saved in your Google Drive. Now, for instance, a day or two later, you decide to continue the training process using Colab. If that's the case, refresh your Colab as if you're coming back to your project after 2 days and you want to continue training. First, you need to reinstall RVC. So go through the initial step again and click on Install RVC, then wait for it to finish installing. After that, you'll go to the second installation step for RVC as written here, Edition Installation. Go through this step too. Once you're done with these, we'll load our model backup. Go to your Google Drive, find the folder created called RVC package. Locate the model you want to continue training with, click the 3 dots, then select Share. Be sure to change the access to anyone with the link, then click Copy Link and click Done. After that, you go back to the same section, enter Google Colab, and paste your link here. Click on it to download your saved data, or, in other words, your checkpoint. As you can see, it's quickly downloading the model from Google Drive. So what did we do? First, we reinstalled RVC. Then, we downloaded our model backup from Google Drive. Now, we set the number of epochs again. We type the name of our model. For example, we had 50 epochs before, now we set it to 200 epochs, and click the Run button to continue the training process. As you can see, it starts from epoch number 50. It won't start from scratch again. This is how we continue training our model. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I tried to explain everything in the simplest way possible. Don't forget to subscribe to our page to become an expert in artificial intelligence.